No, I mean they should be in playoffs. Yeah, this would be a travesty. Now I'm more curious, Sam. What kind of vampires are we talking about here? Are we doing like Twilight style vampires?
No, this is like, what we do in the shadows, Jason.
Yeah, but that kind of vampire. Brad Pitt, like Interview with a Vampire. What are we working with?
MongolZ.
Colin, hold on. Has anyone ever?
Colin
Robertson. Thank you.
I have a question for MongolZ. Grim or Elige?
Ooh, I appreciate you bringing that up because that's a big deal in this matchup right now. Those two guys on opposite teams. Elige facing his old team. I pulled up some stats. Let's see how this pistol round goes because it might be a quick one. I'll get some stats into the Elige versus Grim debate on the complexity.
Well, this is just exciting, isn't it? Complexity versus FaZe. The first time the matchup's going to happen here with Elige on the other side of things. And Complexity have had one hell of a tournament so far, so let's see if this is a real possibility. Brokey gonna play a car. And we got Complexity applying pressure towards his position, and then Brokey just couldn't handle the peak from Grim. He's off to the races, but Elige gets the better of him in the first head-to-head, and now the attack in towards the A-bomb site. As Carrigan tries to put a stop to it. Great headshot on towards Nyx, and then tries to get around the corner, but MongolZ keeps assisting Complexity, and now they're looking for the plan.
Ooh, good Molotov to delay, but Sixy, who's been so good for Complexity this event, saves his own life, clears out Frozen. Now he can sink back into the bomb site, get that planted. Nade misses the mark, Elige and Rain with a tough 2v3.
Creeping ever closer. You got JT playing out long, and the initial attention will be drawn towards 60 and MongolZ. And Elige is still moving forward. Now the fight comes in, but MongolZ nails the headshot, and JT closes it on Rain. Complexity with the pistol.
Okay, we obviously had we spent a lot of the last year with Elige over in Complexity. Well, actually, the entirety of the last year with Elige and Complexity. So some of the stats with between him and Grim, because Grim with Elige on the team last year sported a 1.02 rating in 2024. Without Elige this year, he's at a 1.17 rating. Now the context there is that Complexity has dropped down to play a lot of online qualifiers, a lot of tier 2 competition, so there's a little bit of easier opposition compared to last year when Elige was in the roster. But then you look at this event specifically playing without Elige. Grim is 1.24 HLTV rating. He's the second best player at the event behind m0NESY right now. I think he's actually tied for second with another player, but he's just playing, his level has for whatever reason elevated with Elige not in the team, even though you don't have that really strong player providing you openings, providing you space, making plays to make your rounds more simple. Grim is still delivering despite not having that massive piece next to him.
No, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for Complexity to kick off the start of the year. I mean, I wouldn't have been that interested in a FaZe Complexity match if it happened earlier in the year, because to me it would have been obvious it would be a comfortable FaZe victory. Yeah. But I think coming into this tournament, what we've seen from Complexity, the fact that they are now 2-1 in the tournament, and they got their first 2 wins in the best of 3s. This is an exciting matchup, mixed with the fact that FaZe have been struggling.
I think the exciting thing about Complexity is like they've obviously put some work in during this stretch where they've kind of after I guess like Cluj, where they kind of got knocked out and then they fell down the VRS rankings and missed out on the invite. So this period they've had away from tier 1 events, just a couple months, they've obviously put some great work in and worked on improving and getting Sixy and Nyx comfortable, and it's had results. And I think what's exciting about it is they come into this event against better teams, stronger teams, and they deliver on day one. So you have all this hard work that you've put in, and you're not sure if it's exactly going to work or if it's going to make you better. And then you step into the competition, you get those confidence wins that makes you feel like, yeah, the work we've done has really delivered for us here. Now we come into the event, we've upset Falcons on day 1, 2-0. We've upset FURIA on day 2, 2-1 as well. Like, this stuff works. We can compete with the big dogs. So now you've got confidence stepping into this FaZe match.
Well, a big problem for them has been their Dust2 throughout this tournament so far. There's been moments for Complexity where they just get blanked. So a lot of hard work needing to be done in this first half for Cole, and FaZe have their first buy of the CT side. There's no AWP in sight, but 5 rifles out.
Lower control for Complexity as the Molotov clears. Going to start making their move now. Smoke it, double doors. Utility for catwalk control coming in. It's going to be MongolZ in tunnels with the bomb, looking for a B flank at the moment, but playing late with that bomb on his back as Complexity start looking like they want to line up a split on the A bomb site. You've got JT and Grim to move out long. Carrigan would challenge them there. Sixy, MongolZ, and Nyx moving up catwalk, who will be challenged by Elige and Brokey playing at rail and car.
55 on the clock. Smoke comes in as short, and Elige, he's going to have to try and deal with them pushing through it. He's got a double. He'll take the sting out of the attack here for Complexity, who have to slow down with 3 players only left, and Frozen even making it 2. So right now, not looking like Complexity going to be able to compete in this round. FaZe with Alicia's double, but then suddenly MongolZ gets the fight down mid and it reopens the conversation. But Rain closes it straight away.
No, but I mean, that's a heads-up 1v1 fight that very easily could have gone in the favor of MongolZ, and then the round is on. So Grim's left with 20 seconds. Picks up the bomb, Rain is pushed in towards upper, and this has save written all over it. Grim just gonna find some safety on Catwalk. One more kill would have been great for Complexity just for the damage. Actually, Grim, I guess, trying to die before the time goes out. He wants this bomb plant. He could get it. Alicia's low. He might be a little bit nervous about taking the swing. And yeah, Grim's baited him. Oh, okay, baited him into the peak, but Alicia wins that regardless.
Yeah, the bullet just didn't connect to him. So Alicia gets a 3K in this round. Solid hold on the short play. Looked like Complexity wanted to burst through that initial utility, but Alicia found himself in the perfect spot.
Yeah, what also helps that both of his opposition has Mac 10s. You've got Sixy and Nyx both stepping through that smoke with Mac 10s, so you do some initial damage, but tough to finish it off and clean it up. Good round from Alicia with a triple kill, stopping the plant. Winning a fight with low health and Complexity. Starting to have monetary issues. Galil on Nyx, Scout on MongolZ. Galil on JT as well.
Fine pressure out long, 60. Front with that corner smoke, but it's Frozen that goes down early. MongolZ, we've seen this yesterday. He was capable of using that scout to devastating effect in mid against G2. He's grabbed him a really important opener here. When you've got some weaker weapons, playing 5v4 off from the get-go, it's going to be huge for Cole.
Yeah, that's nice too, because Complexity put a ton of long pressure on. They didn't find the kill there, but that might have forced Frozen to kind of step into the open and started flirting with the idea of a rotation to the A bomb site. Just gets wrecked. So he's down, his kit hits the deck. One of 2 kits they had in the round, the other on Kerrigan. And Alicia wants to find the equalizer, but it's MongolZ again.
Damn, dude, the scout is looking so good to kick off round 4. Under 1 minute.
Alicia's probably like...
on 2 players, he's like, yeah.
He's like, MongolZ couldn't hit that shot when I was on the team.
Killing every one of them. Now Grim getting involved. Brokey's out of that. And this is a clean round for Complexity all of a sudden.
Yeah, a really nice round. And I think they're probably even a little bit shocked about how easy that fell into place. Nice picks from MongolZ to make it as simple as possible. And Complexity steamroll FaZe's defense, and they're pushed back to the brink of nothingness in terms of their money. Force buy coming in. You'd have to imagine. Or not. Scout is picked up. Little flashbang on Frozen, but again, they want to sit back. And they did this on the second round as well. Didn't invest a whole lot. So these eco rounds, especially early in the half, want to make sure they get as many gun rounds as possible in the early going. Well, you've spotted 3 more, so you would have liked to have a few more kills, would have liked to have not gone down at all, but you've got the information for your team to win the round, so no big deal. It'll be 4-1, and Rain will just keep that AK-47 alive if he can for the next.
Well, Complexity have played Dust2 in their last 2 series. They've lost it both times, and one of them against FURIA, one of them against G2. Both times, though, Jason, they only won 2 rounds on the CT side. And so all the hard work had to be done on the T side. They got an overtime against G2 yesterday. They lost 13-8. They had a couple of rounds to come back against FURIA, but their CT side was just so weak that it didn't allow them into the game, and they had to start CT side. So at least now they're getting on the T side. They're getting their better half, but we'd have to know that their second half, their CT side is not good enough.
Well, you'd hope that would be the conversation, right? It's like not so much focusing on the bad CT side, but saying, you know, we have to make sure this T side, no matter what the score is, we're still putting rounds on the board. You know, if we get up 8-2, let's not take our foot off the gas and let them climb back into it. Let's just keep piling them on. So far, so good for Complexity, 4-1. Another buy coming in for FaZe. They're still going to be missing out on that AWP in Brokey's hands. I think the desk did a good job of kind of displaying some of the issues in FaZe. Not necessarily with anything, not necessarily with anything they said, but I guess how they said it, because it is like a struggle to sometimes figure out what's wrong with FaZe. I think Prof's like words were just like, they just kind of don't have chemistry. Like it feels like they're not just playing together very well. And you see the tweets from Kerrigan, basics are gone to hell. So it's like, you almost feel like you can't even really talk about the more complex details and tactics because
So you get that
you know the basics are trash.
Yeah, a lot of work to be done. Currently 4-1 down, but Brokey, he's going to come through and get an opening kill here for FaZe. Frozen under the window. Vic setting up Rain to follow in. And now Complexity down to just 2 remaining members, and there's still so much time on the clock, but it won't matter because they just get picked apart as they try and slowly walk towards the B bomb site. They don't even get close.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming through a smoke and B tunnels as well to do that, trying to hit the timing on it and just fails. Not getting that same strength of entry through the smokes that we saw from Complexity yesterday. We'll see if that changes as this half goes on. Grim at 5 kills, so is JT, who had an excellent game yesterday. It's Halzerk topping the scoreboard on the server, 8-2. Some of those sharp scout shots previously were huge impact, and now he's got the op, so it could just get worse.
And he's got a real good spawn for long. Oh, he fumbled the movement a little bit, but he's all good.
Such a baller, he still goes for it.
Yeah, he still goes for it. Smokes up in his face, and Kerrigan making sure he doesn't cross into the open until that smoke is fully plumed. So get to the pit. Oh, Grim. I love that play from him, and Kerrigan hates it. Grim just runs out long. Kerrigan's not even expecting it, fumbling through his weapons, and Grim just comes out with the opening.
It's an odd timing, especially after the op shot, right? Because if you're Kerrigan, you hear that op shot, and you're like, all right, he went for a pick. He didn't get it. It was way off on his timing, and now into the Molotov. Didn't expect that either. Complexity using some trickery. Timings on the smoke at long, timings on the molly at short, and they found a way in, and I don't think FaZe can contest.
No, they cannot. I love the confidence here for Complexity, some attitude with the fights they take in this round. Grim goes out long, gets that pick onto Kerrigan. 60 charging through the fire, taking damage on board, catching the leash at short, and as soon as you've taken that much control of A, FaZe have no other option. That is huge.
I mean, you can understand how it's so tough to deal with. I mean, as I was explaining with Kerrigan, he just thinks the op is just taking a blind shot in the smoke and is going to fall back, and all of a sudden he's got a flash and an AK-47 coming through.
Yeah, right.
Same with the catwalk defense. You have the Molotov down, you're like, all right, no, I mean, you know it can be disrespected, but not frequently do you see it on catwalk like that, or a crouch peek in the flames either from 60. So just messing with FaZe's idea of what's going to happen. Frozen gets mollied out, naded out. There's 60 coming in, finds the op. You've still got Rain over at car. Rain misses some shots, uncharacteristic. And this hunt is so successful. Frozen desperate and can't survive. 5-2 and all the guns wiped out.
Everything gone. And FaZe don't have enough money to just bounce back with a solid buy here. You can get maybe a half investment, upgraded pistols, some Kevlar, but this is a rough scenario for FaZe, and they're going for a timeout straight away.
Yeah, they need to. They're getting rolled right now. And you have to appreciate the attitude from Complexity and how ruthless they are at the end of that round. Just making sure FaZe have nothing, taking it all away. And if you're a Liege man coming into this series, the first time these two teams have played after you've kind of dropped this, you make this move over to Europe, which is a move you've kind of held out on because you haven't wanted to. Now you get into the point where you're like, okay, I want to win trophies. And that's what he said in the offseason is I want to make a move that's going to give me the best chance to win trophies. You come to FaZe, who's been one of the strongest teams in the past 3 years. If you then come into this event and lose to your old team who you felt like wasn't good enough to get to trophies, that sucks.
And you've uprooted your whole life and moved to Europe.
You've uprooted your whole life. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough night.
I'd say
it's gonna be one of those self-reflecting nights in the dark for a Liege.
I think it's easier moving to Europe and changing your whole life when you're winning. You know, winning fixes everything. But yeah, it's a rough scenario at the moment. Great start here for Complexity, but you know, I'm gonna say it again. You know, their T side was good, sure, but
yeah,
they still got the second half. And if FaZe get enough done here on their CT side,
I don't know, but at the same time, it's like this isn't the same FaZe of old that has that backbone that they're gonna like, you know, stand tall and come back and have that fight in them. So I mean, there's a chance Complexity, if they keep blowing them out of the water in this opening half, you get to the second half, FaZe might just fold and crumble. Out long with 4 players for Complexity, and with the advantage of the AK-47s over pistols, they can just use this range and march up pretty confident. Although all 5 members of FaZe have swapped over to the A side of the map. That's not going to dissuade Complexity. No flashes, no tools of disruption for FaZe.
The tool of disruption for Complexity is Grim at the moment. Up into the bomb site and away with Kerrigan. Site taken. Nades following up, preventing the jump up from Elige. He'll have to stand in the fire if he wants to do so. Retreat back into spawn. So another kill here for Brokey. Shouldn't be much more than that though. 6e continues to hold down mouse 1 towards short side, and we're looking at 6-2 here for Complexity.
Yeah, really clinical take. All right, FaZe. Let's see what you got in this next round. You're going to finally have the AWP on Brokey. That could change things. That could change the nature of this game. We'll see how he positions it, if he's able to find impact. Another full buy coming in. This half is on the verge of spiraling out of control, so you really need something in this upcoming 9th round.
Terrorists win.
I mean, we talked a lot about the Grim becoming the star of the team, you know, the head-to-head because he's having such a great tournament against Elige. But right now, it's a solid team effort for Complexity. So many players just effective in their role here. 7-4 for Grim, 7-3 for JT. 6e up there. Holzer's heading to, you know, this is a team effort at the moment for Complexity.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with 6e at this event and how he's been able to step up in this team
aggressive.
And how quickly he's the aggression is fun. Now, I mentioned it yesterday. He'll have to figure that out because that aggression is going to get read and understood as you play. And at an event like this where Complexity's caused this many waves, people are going to start looking into that. So 6e is going to have some challenges early on, but at this event, that aggression, that style that he's been bringing out has been so effective. Brokey really wants that fight, and he's fortunate to stay alive. Steps into a flashbang, but him and 6e call it neutral.
Goes to the side of the smoke, and speaking of that aggression, here he is. But Brokey's waiting for the continued push, but 6e doesn't give it to him. Now the peek comes in, missed shot from Brokey, and 95 damage down from 6e. He's won the space.
And Brokey doesn't want to go back for the peek. He kind of considered it. Now he's got Elige stepping up, so maybe he wants to use that as a distraction. 6e trying to isolate this alt peek.
Elige trying to fight short. 6e applying pressure to him, trying to catch him, but he's still worried about that re-peek from Brokey, and eventually gets the fight. Brokey finishes it off. But a 5v4 is Complexity moving through in some of the space that 6e's won for them. 40 seconds as Grim is still patient at long.
Yeah, and Kerrigan knows he's here. He's going to hold this the whole time. The AWP has even backed off to long, so keep an eye on Grim on the minimap because he needs to play this really patiently. He needs to play this late in the post plant.
Bomb has been planted.
He just waits and long, and he's being super patient right now, so the fights are going to come down at short first.
2 players back at Cat as well.
He's looking for his chance to strike. Back turn in front of him, but Rain still comes out on top of 2. Now Grim decides to strike out, catching Brokey. He needs to help Holzerk inside of the site. Elige just jumps up, and so Grim is stuck at long. He has a molly, but he has not got the position to deal with where the bomb is planted. And when FaZe win those short fights, they remove the post-plant setup and get back into this retake.
Yeah, I think that short fight as well is just the inexperience. Nick's taking the peek. He had JT coming to join up with him. I think he could have waited a little bit longer to make that a stronger double peek with a swing. Give JT a better chance. But really, Brokey and 6e, this engagement was everything. 6e gets that. This round is completely different. But Rain going 2 for 1 on Catwalk seals things, and FaZe have a 3rd round they get to continue buying. Both teams have a little bit money built up behind them. FaZe have won 3 isolated individual rounds. They've not been able to piece 2 together. That could all change here in round 10. Holzerk wants this shot blind in the smoke. He's going to do it again and backs off.
Brokey looking for the mid fight. Holzerk's come on over. He's a top mid, peering down. But Brokey not going to give him that jewel. He's just waiting for the cross, knowing that the player is likely to try and get out towards Xbox. Holzerk honing in on it, but never going to get the angle to spot Brokey.
Both teams just looking for that mistake. Complexity looking for a peek or a push. FaZe looking for a lurk or someone being a little bit lazy. Nice flashbang to take Brokey off the angle and open up this space for JT and 6e, but how do you want to use it? Grim's going to start shifting over from his perch outside the long cave. Nyx is lined up in upper B. Complexity, they've got another smoke. They can wait for the nades to be used on this initial CT spawn smoke, and now's the time. You've got no nades left if you're FaZe, and here's the hit.
Frozen at the window. Trying to peek out as this hit comes up. 25 seconds left, FaZe. The output is huge. They've got 2 kills locked in, but Halzerk and Grim coming right back, but 18 seconds. Time is the problem, and they've got to try and get into that site. Bomb down outside of the doors. Good turn back from Halzerk, but 10 seconds. Get the bomb right now, Nix, and get that into the site.
Oh, it took him a while to find it. Good shot from Brokey. He's gone
they
down.
went on kills instead.
Yeah, I think he would have got the plant either way. It took him a second, but I think he got there just in time. But Brokey can't survive long enough for it to even be a factor. And FaZe, yet again, denied 2 rounds straight. 7-3 in the favor of Complexity.
Just with the nature of...
Addition by subtraction. You lose a Liege, and everyone's wondering how you're still going to be able to be competitive, and you found a way to do it. 567 days in Complexity for Elige, a 1.20 rating during that stretch. 2024's 19th best player. Carried Complexity to 2nd place at IEM Sydney 23. To a 3rd, 4th, a semifinals finish at EPL Season 19. Wasn't able to lift any trophies with them. But we thought losing Elige would potentially be the end of this team in Tier 1 Counter-Strike, but they just look better.
Yeah, I think it's just so crazy how Complexity have gotten better, and it's not like it's a honeymoon period. They had the opposite, right? It was such a weak start to the squad. We were like, okay, this is kind of what we expect when you bring in rookies like this. You know, you aren't expecting them to be able to compete at Tier 1, and we were like, okay, this is what we expected. When Elige leaves, Complexity are going to take a huge step down. But they've gone and worked super hard to get back into a position where they're able to compete, and we're seeing steady improvements, and this is the best we've seen them yet.
And the beauty is, you know, FaZe as well is putting a lot of work in also. Like and the thing is, we haven't seen it inside the server. It really hasn't had impact yet, but you just know that this team is grinding, trying to fix these issues, trying to find ways to acclimate Elige quicker, make the roles work. And they just haven't been able to find any success. 2nd time out by FaZe. Down by 5. And really, like, it's weird, this phase, and this is where the conversation about the, like, it's so hard to pinpoint, losing confidence, not having chemistry. The names on this team that have won majors, that have won massive amounts of events, that have gone so deep in so many events for such long careers, and it feels like everyone is playing worse than they actually are.
And the weird thing is, usually when we look at Karrigan's career, when he has a roster move, they immediately get a buff, right? So
yeah, I thought this FaZe team was set for like one of the strongest honeymoon periods we would have ever seen. I was like, oh, Elige joining up with Karrigan, these first 3 months are going to be wild.
Yeah, exactly. But you just got the wrong pieces, or not really knowing how to fit those pieces together at the moment. So tough challenge. But we'll see if they eventually figure it out. But at the moment, the CT half has been incredibly weak on Dust2. Complexity looking for their 9th. They've got the opening kill, so that's the step in the right direction.
It is a tough challenge, but I think if you could pick an in-game leader to solve those issues, it would be Karrigan. You know, widely considered the greatest in-game leader of all time. You could probably make arguments, you know, considering the hardware on other guys like Glaive, but one thing Karrigan has that no other IGL has is the amount of success he's found with the amount of different teams and lineups. Waltzing into the B bomb site, and FaZe have no idea until just now. Smoke up the double doors, and Frozen and Rain are just like, guys, we thought they were coming mid, but now they're in the B bomb site. Grim still at long. He's going to have a very, very late lurk, but probably needs to get a move on right now.
There's still so many nades here for Complexity. Like, they still have lots on Nyx, lots on Halzerk, and FaZe don't have a whole lot. They've got a flash.
That molly went way too
and they go into the site, over the top, and somehow Grim comes out on top of it to close it out. 9-3 here for Complexity. A dominant first half versus FaZe here on Dust2. This is insane. Like, I did never think at the start of this year when you told me that we were going to see a Liege up against Complexity, that their first map ever played is going to be a 9-3 half for Complexity. This is crazy right now.
Yeah, it's really impressive from Complexity. I mean, it's really, really good. Now I mean, this is the conversation, though, that we had at the start of this half, is be a little bit careful about how hyped you get up about this Colt team, and I think we're kind of struggling not to get too hyped up. But the CT side is where they've had some issues on this map. Played a rough one against FURIA, managed to scrape together 5 rounds yesterday, 2-10 on their CT side.
Put it this way, FaZe have had a bad half here, but it's still better than both of the CT sides we've seen from Complexity. On
That's true. That is true. Well, let's see what they can do to bring it back on their own offense. And this is where you kind of get some of the issues of FaZe that you can pinpoint a little bit more, talk about in a little bit more detail, as it feels like they're struggling to find comfort in their opening moves in some of the rounds that I watch and some of the games that I watch. And remember, in the past, in the previous lineup, a lot of it was Kerrigan and Rain working in tandem. Now a lot of it is Elige and Kerrigan working in tandem. Maybe sometimes not even working in tandem, just kind of being there together.
Well, FaZe need this pistol round. They're going to quickly head out long. Brokey's going to grab for the opening kill, but couldn't get the second. Fantastic work from 60 and Grim to keep the numbers even as FaZe commit with their final 3 out long side. JT behind the cars, lost his teammate, and now things are heating up for him, and he won't be able to get a follow-up kill. So Kerrigan makes sure that FaZe have the round. Nyx will try and change that fact, but it looks locked in right now for FaZe.
If he can get a quick headshot here and set himself up for a 1v2 with a ton of HP, the possibility is there. He's going to have the option on Kerrigan. There it is. Okay, 1v2. Let's get started. Nyx has been able to find great impact for this team. This would be a huge clutch.
Another head showing inside of the site. Knows where Elige is. Trying to separate them into 1v1s, but as long as FaZe just prolong these fights, he's going to run out of time.
He's going to run out of bullets. He's only got 3 shots left. Ambitious if you don't reload.
Well, goes for the reload. But yeah, time is the issue now. Great setup here at long. Nice shot, but Elige straight away, as soon as that peek comes in, nails this opportunity.
Good attempt from Nyx. Good attempt from Complexity. They almost pulled that back.
When you look back at the teams that FaZe have beaten in this tournament so far, right? They lost to Astralis to kick things off 2-1, but they went on to recover their run, and the reason they're here is they got 2 wins, one against Pain and one against Rare Atom.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the opposite of Complexity's run, because you look at that, you see, like, Astralis probably shouldn't be losing to them, but then Pain and Rare Atom, like, where's the impressiveness of those wins? Pain, you know, a little bit, that's a team that could challenge you. Rare Atom, we don't expect anything out of, but nothing, like, super impressive that we feel like FaZe had kind of punched above their weight. You look at the Complexity side, Falcons 2-0 victory, FURIA 2-1 victory, a very close series against G2, 1-2 loss. Then you're like, okay, these guys are punching way above their weight.
Certainly a more legitimate run from Complexity so far, but not wanting the pistol here in the second half could spell a little bit of a disaster potentially for the rest of the half here for Complexity. They're going to allow FaZe the good start. Looks like they're about to convert on the second round as well. That gap can close real quick. Yeah,
and I think you hope FaZe has done their research and had the conversation, because if we talked how rough some of the Complexity CT sides were, but the one thing we've seen out of both of them has been the crazy, unrelenting aggression. They push a lot. Grim in towards the long cave frequently. Sixy is going to be pushing middle and catwalk frequently, and now lower to disrupt this attack, and there's the push from Grim. Just as I talk about the aggression, it's got 2 kills for Complexity, and Sixy's got close, fast flank and boxed them in.
Here goes Elige, but the smoke is out to protect Halzerk. 60 just running into the tunnels. Elige is going to turn for that headshot without issue. So that kill equalizes it in a 2v2, and then Elige moves off towards Car. They're actually going to double up together. And we got Grim coming through the tunnels now.
Brokey's dead if he doesn't turn.
They've got to move quite quickly. Grim giving them information with that weapon switch out to the Galil. But Halzerk's going to try and peek in time with him, but Brokey hits that headshot despite the low HP, and Halzerk unable to connect his shot with no kid on his back. Time is running thin. He's still got a very difficult clutch ahead of him, but he's got both kills. Straight to the defuse. They give him an opportunity, and there's no world in which we thought Halzerk was going to pull that off, but he gets his chance, and he nails it.
Oh, man, he's playing really well. Had a pair of important scout kills, remember, in the first half as well to help Complexity win a low buy. He's just done it again now with the clutch. Oh, no.
Dude, how do you lose that round?
Well, because I'm sat there and I was like, I'm a little bit upset. I don't know why Grim decided to switch weapons and give up the sound cue in the positioning. They had no clue he was on the flank. But MongolZ saves the day, and without a kit, still wins the round. And you know, Kerrigan's just sat there and he's like, basics, basics, basics. We just cannot play well in these post plants.
Players of this caliber, of this experience in that situation, giving MongolZ the only way to win the round. And fair play, MongolZ does hit the shots. He's a scout god, it seems.
Yeah, the second shot wasn't easy either. Brokey, with a low HP, is just trying to get out of the door, which would have been the checkmate. It would have just been no time, regardless of if MongolZ gets the kill or not. What a clutch, and that's got to be a stunning round to lose if you're FaZe. Okay, careful. 60, there it is. Good transition as you fall back. Elige can't win the fight, and up catwalk, he spotted a couple. So Complexity know the finishing play, and MongolZ is going to challenge you. Transfer over onto Frozen's face. And now 60 waiting to follow up behind the smoke. Triple kill for 60, an 11-4 lead for Complexity. Putting FaZe in them vampire coffins.
Locking them up. High fives, the slaps are coming out. Messioso loving his job right now. It's like being a coach is awesome.
He's got one of the best coaching winning records of all time, I would imagine, at the moment.
Maybe that's the recipe, isn't it, Jason? You get Messioso to be the coach and everything starts going well. He knows the rule books better than anyone. Down to Glocks. Well, this is the difference for Complexity on Dust2. The fact that they can get a really strong first half. You can see how different the story looks at the moment. You don't have to work from behind and pull it all the way back. And with a hero round like that from MongolZ, you're now given what is one of the steps towards the tipping point to close out this map. And if you win FaZe's map pick of Dust2,
yeah,
we're really looking at a solid chance of a 2-0 here for Complexity to get into the playoffs.
Well, especially because one of the conversations around Complexity too is about the map pool, right? And it's another series, a second series where they don't get to play Train because it's the FaZe ban. And we know that's a map that Complexity just love leaning into and have shown great prowess on in the early going. So much like yesterday against G2, who banned Train, Complexity go to Anubis, but you steal away Dust2, and yeah, you feel like you've built yourself a little bit of a buffer zone in terms of the series, to where you have a lot less pressure on map 2.
Oh, JT. Easy work on the FAMAS until dinked away by Elige.
I can't, this is crazy. 12-4. In the favor of Complexity. When I woke up today to cast this match, I never expected this.
No, I thought it would be a really fun game just because of the storyline.
Yeah.
Complexity are playing better. Maybe we get a close matchup. I did not expect to come into Dust2 and watch Complexity completely destroy FaZe.
Just give him the battering ram.
Yeah, this is just not on the bingo card at all. So yeah, this is crazy. And FaZe, this is it. This is the last chance. You know, you have one Khalil, 4 AK-47s, and you need to pull a huge comeback. And you're right, we have not seen that FaZe so far with the squad. It's like the one with the backbone, the one with the any comebacks possible mentality. It has been rough. And 60, he tries to get away with this a lot. We've seen him throughout all of the CT sides of Dust2 with some aggression up through short. It's a move he loves to go for. And it hasn't worked here for Complexity in this round. FaZe, oh, I love it, MongolZ gets the knife. Brain sat down. MongolZ now with nades in his hands. Eventually gets taken out by Brook.
I don't know why he didn't think anyone would be on catwalk after all of his teammates died.
Maybe he's just too excited with the knife kill.
Yeah, the knife is cool. Worth it. Oh, damn. Okay, well, if Nyx is going to be doing that to Elige, that's a rough day for old mate Johnny. Johnny Jabs.
Yeah, Complexity's like, hey, look at our new friends, Elige.
This is yeah. 12-5, so well done from FaZe to fight back into it. Plenty of money on Complexity, so much so that Nyx is going for a 1v2 with 15 HP. Might be just thinking, I might be able to ninja this. Here's the footstep.
Peek out from Nyx, and Brokey will break him. So that's the first step.
plenty of money in the bank to still drop a gun over to JT. Although I still think Nyx probably should have just chosen to save there.
Oh, the admin's got the same haircut as Graham as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You think they talk about it?
Yeah, they're like, I want the admin with the same hairstyle as me.
Yeah, who's your barber, man? I gotta get a cut while I'm here in Romania. How do you like to style the man bun?
Hey, it might be a bit awkward when Graham and Elise are at the barbershop.
Oh, bald people suck.
You can say that.
I could say that.
Apart from you, though, Jason. You're awesome.
You can't say that. No.
Well, rank good start. It's a fantastic opening move. So, FaZe, they've got that to work with in lower. The peek down from short, not exactly going to plan here for Complexity, and nor does that B tunnel push.
These are the pushes that gave G2 such a rough time on Dust2 yesterday. These kinds of aggressive plays, walking through smokes and upper, pushing lower constantly, but I can tell from that very first round, Kerrigan and Liege both paired up right outside the long cave waiting for 6C's push. FaZe, they've prepped for it, they've had a conversation about it, they're aware of the possibility at all times. Might not be enough to bring them back all the way into overtime, but at least they've negated it early on. Good push from Elige out of the flashbang.
Yeah, great flash as well from Frozen. Grim stood no chance.
Halzer could make this interesting with how he's playing.
Nice shot, though. Gotta land that one. At least he keeps his life. He gets back into the site. He's gonna peek out. Leash is gonna go down here, no problem for Halzer. He's got the read on the tunnel play, but it's JT that's taken him. And so, yeah, you're right. He can make it exciting, but 10 seconds. Bomb's going down over on A, but that kill to clear out Brokey opens up a 2v2.
All right, you got a long route. Frozen is perhaps the first thorn in your side. Next would be Kerrigan, who's got a deep angle, peering straight down. Gonna be hard to win this 2v2.
But not impossible, as we've seen so far.
And you can't lose the map like this if you're FaZe.
Yeah, Hugh had such an advantage in closing this one. They switch out to rifles instead. Time is starting to tick. Halzer's already up on the bomb site. JT surely goes down to Kerrigan here. Kerrigan sends the bullets forward, connects the headshot. Can't stop Halzer, but the time will. There's not enough of it to get to that defuse, and so Halzer's gonna run away. They make it real close. They make it dirty towards the end, but it's still around for FaZe.
Yeah, that was all on JT finding Kerrigan. If he gets that kill, then he can kind of defend the defuse somewhat. You still have an iffy situation, but you've got a chance at it. 12-6 and Complexity are out of money, so FaZe have opened up the door of opportunity. They still need to win 6 in a row with no mistakes. But again, Complexity's CT side is nothing to write home about. So the possibility, the potential is there. 14 kills on Elige to lead the way for FaZe, still the only member of the team in double digits. Fragging just has not been there in this map. And in contrast, 20 kills for Halzer, 13 for 6C, 16 apiece for Grim and JT.
Yeah, this is not going to be a round to remember for Complexity, but FaZe just want to try and keep it clean. They've taken a lot of damage over the last few rounds here.
I mean, it's a nice chance when this bomb gets planted, and Nyx is calling it out as well, that they're taking the A bomb site. I mean, now you just have a conversation about what you're going to buy, what the next round's going to look like. If you're JT, just get everyone on board now, because this round just doesn't matter. You're not even really going to get exit kills. So start making sure you're coordinated for the next gun rounds. If you're Complexity, don't let this last long. Don't give FaZe the chance to build up some momentum. Don't let them be able to turn this around and figure it out and start coming alive with fragging. Good job from Frozen. Yeah, this is a nice little death match for him to start getting started in the match. 7 and 16, been very quiet for Frozen.
We know Frozen only plays one half a map on Dust2. You know? That's kind of his thing.
Yeah, he has had some rough Dust2s, hasn't he? He said that 0 kills after.
No, he had one.
He got one at the end of the first half in that game.
And then he dropped 22 in the second half.
Yeah.
Or so we're near that number. So yeah, he's kind of a one-half kind of player here on Dust2. And I think, you know, I can respect it as long as you bring it back to overtime, which we did see FaZe do previously.
But also, don't let them get close. Like you've done such good work this whole time. Don't let it slip out of your control now. Just put them out of their misery. Grim blinded. Oh, and Rain does survive. Very low on HP. Who knows how useful he'll be for the rest of the round, but around this smoke, if Sixy's not aware of the possibility, there's the transfer, and he's got it. Holzerk and Sixy with the openings. FaZe try and force the issue.
All right, surely this is where Complexity close out the map. A 5v3 to round it out. Can't drop the ball here. Carrigan makes his way through middle. Realizes how much pressure's on his shoulders to make a play work here, but look at Grim. Round the back, on the flank. Holzerk's got the pick. Grim's got the flank. It's all Elige, and Grim will close out for Complexity. 13-7 on the opening map. The first map of play between Complexity and FaZe is a blowout in favor of Gold.
And Grim takes down Elige for that final kill. Chef's kiss.
Magnifique. There's no French players, but whatever, we'll throw that in there. Here's the thing.
They destroy them on the opening map, their opponent's map pick of Dust2. Now we go into Anubis. There's a real shot at qualifying into the playoffs 2-0 over FaZe Clan.
Yeah, especially because their Anubis has looked pretty decent as well. And I mean, really, I think the big selling point for Complexity making it in one sense, and it's a shame it's not a positive about them, but just FaZe look like shadows of themselves, both individually and as a team, is perhaps the best thing Complexity have going for them at the moment. But yeah, a chance to complete this Cinderella run that you can't really mess with considering the teams they've beat. We've touched on a number of times, but in case you're just tuning in, beat Falcons on the first day, beat FURIA on the second day, lost to G2, but now a chance to beat FaZe, and considering where Complexity was at coming into this event, you can't deny the results that they've gotten so far. Sixy gonna open things up with the dualies through the smoke, and that's Rain hitting the deck and a 5-on-4 for the CTs.
FaZe go for the mid-fight to try and trade it out on Grim. He doesn't want to stick around. He doesn't want to give away his life. Elige having to fight towards a main. So close to a double kill, but Holzerk stands strong. And FaZe are going to drop down through window, and a big kill on JT that opens up the B-bomb site.
Yes, Complexity scrambling now to get into position. Grim going all the way around through CT spawn. Holzerk on 1 HP, and Grim on a flank.
Bomb has been planted.
Frozen, though. He's watching it. He's got eyes on it. So Grim's going to have to get involved in that fight. Needs to win it quickly and doesn't win it at all. Carrigan waits for the smoke push, and FaZe collect the pistol with 3 up, despite actually losing the initial player.
Yeah, that's a mistake from Grim. He doesn't clear that angle the whole way, just kind of lazy in the way he sort of crouches into it. They could have played that a little bit more patiently, and Grim had plenty of time to actually go for the full clear. And if he gets that kill on the flank, then you can pause a little bit longer, see what the reaction's going to be. But a good 4v5 conversion for FaZe, losing the opening fight, but a nice call to just drop down, catching JT. No time for him to fall back. And an easy post plant set up for FaZe. Second round bye from Complexity. They did win 2 of those on Dust2 by virtue of Holzerk's scout, which he doesn't have here in this round. MP9 for Holzerk. Another map where you're going to have to be constantly aware of the pushes from Complexity. We saw so many rounds like this. Window peaks at the 1-minute mark for no reason. Now pushing out a main. They haven't cleared Rain. Trigger discipline. He's got the first. Nick's going to swing, and Rain's got that as well.
Keeping the conversion clean for FaZe. Grim actually nearly gets a shot at taking Carrigan down as well. But it's all good. Now JT waits in the temple. The bomb is arriving at the B-bomb site. Maybe he can get 1 extra kill here at the end of the round, but you would imagine that is about it.
This event has given us nice information about Complexity as well. Coming into this, obviously, we knew they were trying to work Train into their map pool, and did that to great success. Last 2 series against G2 and now FaZe, where Train is banned first by their opponents. Complexity have gone to Anubis as their map pick, so you can kind of see their hierarchy, at least at the top. Number 1 priority Train, number 2 priority Anubis for Complexity at the moment. JT looking for a rifle, wandering around just to exit this round. See if he can snatch one out of the hands of FaZe. It doesn't look likely. As the bomb goes off, he spots Brokey, but that'll just pull him into Frozen. And an easy 2-0.
I'm sure there was a stern conversation outside after that game from FaZe, just to focus up and get the job done here and get back into the series. I mean, getting blanked on your map pick 13-7 in that kind of fashion, especially with some of the weaknesses we've seen on Dust2 for Complexity over the last few days.
Yeah, conversation for FaZe between the maps had to have been certainly like, guys, have some damn pride. You know, like, what are we doing getting blown out by Complexity? Especially in an event where you also got, you know, beat by Astralis earlier, who should be beneath your level. So yeah, it is very much like none of us showed up on that first map. None of us were really individually there. Elish had good numbers. But it's time to have a little bit of...
The only number he cares about today is the round before.
Yeah, true. Yeah, might be the case. He doesn't care how it happens, just get the win. But certainly, yeah, have some pride in the jersey you're wearing, have some pride in the effort you put out into the server for the rest of this series. Because that first Dust2 map was just gross. They'll get a 3-0 start here, and they haven't taken a whole lot of damage in round 2 or now round 3, so money should be good. You couldn't ask for a better start if you're FaZe. So you have to capitalize on this 3-0 beginning with all the money you'll have built up in the bank.
Yeah, and Carrigan getting to call a T side, which he didn't really get to do on Dust2. Wasn't enough rounds to get that going in the second half. But not only getting to call a T side, but call the more favored side here on Anubis to kick things off.
Good shot from Brokey, bomb goes off. And Complexity step into the next round ready for the full buy. Halzerk 57.50, perfect amount of money for op, light armor, and a smoke grenade. Everyone else picking up those M4s except for Grim. He's got his trusty AUG out. That's what the defense is going to be kitted out with heading into round 4. All AK-47s, a couple of Galils for FaZe on the other side. No op yet for their attack.
Gets me every time.
What's that?
The name tag on the bomb.
What's the name tag?
Blow me no hands. That's the name tag on the bomb.
Okay. Well, I regret asking that question.
You asked it.
Yeah, I did ask. And you did deliver.
Shout out Rain. I think it's his.
Jesus. What are we doing here?
Hey, they showed it.
I know. Well, Halzerk, the off information at the A-bomb site as it rings out in A main, but Halzerk is completely repositioned back to the B-bomb site coming through CT spawn. Middle is wide open, and FaZe is going to investigate and enjoy that fact. Nyx and Sixy to defend this A-bomb site.
Little damage down to Rain. Carrigan doesn't realize it, but he was very close to being in an unfavorable fight there against the AWP. A split being set up through the camera. They will run, and right into Nyx they will go. Sixy waiting for his peak to try and trade it back. He was so close to getting a double kill, but Elish wins the important fight.
Yeah, great transfer from Elish with that Galil. No head armor, I think, on Sixy as well, so made it ultra easy. Nice crunch for FaZe. No resistance in middle, and they take complete advantage of the fact. Creeping and crawling in. Nyx and Sixy, attention on A main, replenishing the smoke, and just got beat by timing. So the other 3 players save the weapons and allow FaZe to go up 4-0. But again, just touch on the fact, another clean round win where FaZe only lose 1 player. So money is going to continue building on this T side. They've got a huge amount of cash behind them. And the task just keeps getting more difficult as that money grows for Complexity. Now in a situation where you have to win 3 rounds straight to break FaZe on the T side, they've got a great opportunity, FaZe, to just run up the scoreboard.
Terrorists win.
It is good.
I love how it gets left behind as well. Like, it's indestructible.
It's just unreal. We're professionals, damn it.
Professionals can't have fun, Jason.
Blow me no hands.
See, that's why I love Counter-Strike, man.
It is so ludicrous.
Couldn't get away with that anywhere else.
So
Might not get away with it here.
I appreciate it so much. Oh, he's getting away with it.
Oh, he does.
All right, Grim. Oh, spotted the shoulder. Good. Jiggle peek pre-fire. Frozen goes down. Nice smoke over towards Dark. JT punishes Kerrigan, trying to take advantage of the aggression. And quickly, Complexity have a 5-on-3. This is one way to get started. To get back on the horse. A chance for a very clean round now for the defense.
Leash trying to see if there was anybody still peeking in towards connector, but he manages to get some utility back. That's going to be important for this final A finish. 2 players in position. Nick's up first, just holding in the fountain. And that smoke, he can peek on the left side of. Just making sure no one's got into it. Clear it with a grenade, and now with 45 seconds left. FaZe still waiting for that final thrust. They still have nades in their back pockets. Here goes Nyx again. Reposition on top of the fountain, gets the fight he's looking for. Does damage on the rain, but doesn't take him away. It's 60's job to do that, and then Brokey trades him. So 30 seconds. FaZe have done a decent job at fighting their way into a winnable situation.
Or at least make it costly, right? They've got the openings to move into the bomb site. Alish can certainly win this round. Him and Brokey together can win it, but at the very least, 1 or 2 more kills, and you've done a great job.
Liege getting up towards heaven. JT coming out of the storage, and Liege not the cleanest fight, but still wins it, so 2v2 because of it. 10 bullets left in the M4. Goes to the fight against Grim, but now running out of ammo. Last bullet to the head. Holzer going for the quick shot, but time's ticking. Grenade could be good enough to drop Liege, but the box protects him. And so now Holzer's doing it all on the USP. He's got the pick on Liege, and the second as well. The USP gets the job done for Holzer.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to find the bomb in time.
Beautiful. Norwegian teabag. They're known for their teas. Nice and soft.
I love it.
A nutty flavor on the front.
No hands.
Yeah, it's great. But a spectacular clutch from Holzer. The USP. Thought that nade might clean up Alish, went a little bit light, but man, they were trying to play for time, try not to overexpose themselves, and Holzer's USP gets the job done. Had the kit from the previous round when he saved. Alish and Brokey can't connect the shots, and it's just one teabag. It's classy as well. It's just one.
That's all he needed.
Yeah.
One dip.
Sent the message, and then got on with his business.
Weak T. Another frustrating round loss for FaZe, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously frustrating to lose any round, but I think when the fact you consider they converted the 3v5 into a 2v1.
Yeah, you got it. You did the hard part. You just couldn't close out on the guy running wildly with the USP.
Yeah, you find victory out of the loss, and that you've taken away a ton of money from the defense, and you've set yourself up nicely to be able to hinder it even more if you can have success in this round.
Oh, that is a perfect little play from Frozen.
Actually,
disrupt the smoke, get the headshot. JT trades it. Nick's going aggressive out of A main, and suddenly Complexity flip it back to look much better for them. FaZe only have 2 remaining members at the 45-second mark of this round, and Brokey nearly going down as well, 10 HP.
Ooh, you missed the timing on Alish, though. Okay, good drop,
Yeah.
because Alish was getting really close along that left wall, and you would have never seen that peek coming.
But it's that duo again. Alish and Brokey trying to pull this round back. Less time to work with, and certainly less options.
Yeah, less space. Both of them in middle. Needed that pick if you were going to create something off of it. Nice attempt from Alish, but it might be time to just back off and save. No money on Alish, so he can't rebuy. There's money for a drop on Rain if they really want to go for it, but I think here, no need to risk it. And for Sixy, you too. Economy's not set, but he's going to take the guns away either way. Finds Alish, Sixy and Grim cleaning it up, and that's 2 now for Complexity.
Yeah, getting rounds on the board here on the CT side early on into the half. Solid work here for Complexity. breaking that money up now for FaZe.
As I mentioned, like playing it the hard mode, by the way they started this without a whole lot of impact in the first 4 rounds that FaZe won. There's another full buy coming in for FaZe. They'll be missing the op on Brokey, unless he wants to go Glass Cannon. But this will be the last buy FaZe has. So 3 in a row for Complexity. They can break the money and start seeing what they can do with this half.
Yeah, win this round, and you've got a real good chance of just tying that scoreline up.
Yeah, 3 AK-47s as well. Have done a great job scavenging such strong weapons. Halzark posted up in middle, the lone defender here. JT looking for any fast plays in canals, and he's found it around the edge of the smoke. Kerrigan not ready for the fight. Kerrigan running around an edge of the smoke, and JT playing around the edge of a smoke.
2 in-game leaders battling in the smokes. It's good to see, but for Complexity, they'll be much happier about this. Another round where they get to start with an advantage. And Elysian Brokey starting to make their way through middle.
And Sixy's putting up some of his aggression here. There's the flash to clear out B. Sixy's going to find absolutely nothing home. Yeah. That's going to pull Grim back towards middle to keep an eye on the walk towards camera.
Complexity are always moving, man. It's fun to watch at the moment, just how active they are on the CT side.
Stylistically, they brought it into every single map, but it makes sense why Anubis would kind of be their second priority after Train, because it sort of lends itself to this aggression. This aggression is kind of required to make sure the CTs are keeping information and keeping track of the movements of the T side.
The peek in the middle for Grim. Oh, instant headshot on Brokey. Elise trades it out, but 40 seconds. And they're going to drop down and try and relocate over towards the A bomb site.
Yeah, and actually the death cam information that he got, even though it's so quick because of the headshot, is selling them a dream, a false bill of goods. He saw them drop down, so he's calling out potentially canals. Hits coming in towards the A bomb site. Nick's playing an off angle. Oh, damn. Had to hit that shot in the open.
Gets away with it, and Halzark had the quick rotation back from camera. But Nyx, yeah, instead of just sitting back on Cake, getting that utility coming in towards him, putting him in an awkward one-and-done spot, he plays the off angle, he takes a slight risk, and it works out perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. One-and-done spot is the best way to describe it. You get 2 in that situation, and it's like, well played, young man. That's not bad at all. All right, Complexity, they've gotten those sea legs beneath them here on Anubis. Rattled off 3 in a row, taking the money and funds away from FaZe, and a great opportunity to tie up the score at 4. As they go up against mostly Deagles.
Oh, such a great start for FaZe, and they needed to continue that after such a flat performance on the opening map of the game. FaZe lose this today. They go down 2-2. Team that finished 4th, inclusion of Poker. Might not be making it into the playoffs with performances like this at the moment.
Nice shot from JT.
He's done a Carrigan's gone as well.
He's done a really good job, JT, of defending Dark.
Yeah, it's a hard spot too. You know, you see a lot of teams will put their star player in that position. It could be really difficult to defend it, but JT's the man with the responsibility.
JT is a star player.
Yeah.
Kind of. Not really at all.
South African star player. Like.
Elige is doing a pretty good job of keeping at his bay as long as possible, but eventually they'll push forward and finish him off. They've had enough of the shenanigans. 4-4, we're tied up. Another buy coming in now for FaZe. AK-47s, no op for the attack. But Complexity is sitting in a very nice place on the CT side. 7,000 on JT. Halzark 7,600 behind this buy. Money's growing. They're feeling good. The score is growing.
And despair for FaZe Clan is growing. Ray quick heads down the stairs into the water just outside of A main. JT, here we go. Another little aggressive maneuver from JT.
Yeah, but they haven't pushed it yet, so this is new. Good kill on the Knicks, but 6, you know he's going to be aggressive in tandem.
Yeah, he's going to plug the gap as well. JT's aggression catches Brokey. Elige, oh, so low on health, but still such an important kill to grab here. If 60 gets a follow-up and we're looking at a 4v2 for Complexity with 60 in a position to stay alive, then we're looking at a really rough turnaround here for FaZe. It's still tough, but at least doable at the moment.
Well, this round is going to slow down. It's going to be, you could see Elige and Kerrigan walking all the way back. So looks like they might want to attempt to the B bomb site, but with that piece of aggression, again, Complexity just never sitting still. Back to the A bomb site, early flashbang in towards A main. Actually, it's all a fake. Elige with low HP is going to try and move up canals through dark. But if Halzerk and Grim don't see anything, JT's going to kind of know it's coming, and another smoke is just brutal. Well-timed piece of utility.
JT, look at that aggression again. Timing is perfect. Elige goes down with the bomb as well, and this is now Kerrigan having to go back, and he has no time really to do much with this. Even if he gets the bomb immediately and sprints to A, there is still a player there, and Halzer could have delayed. But JT, you're right, Jason, he has a star player.
I know, it's weird. I mean, he just was unkillable that round. 4 individual fights, he wins all of them. 10-4 for JT, leading the way on this CT side. Even outside of rounds like that, where he's just held on to dark and taken peeks, he's defended it very well from the bomb site a couple of times as well. This is the first kill from JT. Here's that push to clear out the B bomb site. Everything a 1v1. Elige had no chance, back turned, and finds Kerrigan as well. Just sliming around on these guys. Ratty little pushes through smokes. Complexity take a lead. They've got the playoffs in mind. Not so slimy this round, are you, JT?
Yeah, I think that nade was maybe slimy. Slipped out of his hand the wrong way. FaZe have had enough. They're like, we're going to get JT this round. They start playing, sending a lot of players through the dark smoke, trying to get up through, but JT's planted at the back of the obelisk. His teammate's gone, though. JT's low in HP, and this might work out for FaZe. They've got many members populating this B bomb site. JT gets one more before he goes down, and that gives his team a shot at this.
Yeah, they have to wait for the smoke to fade, though. You cannot pressure this. You cannot push it. You know they've got pistols as well. You don't want to go through a smoke against the Tech 9. Now you've got the opportunity. Flashbang is out, and Elige, good movement. Doesn't even turn from the flashbang. Another smoke comes in, and one more Tech 9 kill.
Elige just doing what he can, and it dies to that. Nyx jumping through the sky. Lands the headshot onto Elige. Now Halzer getting closer. This time going to be cast away by Frozen, who's waiting at the back of the site. Nyx doesn't have the info on Kerrigan. He was never spotted. And so Kerrigan closes the 1v1.
Yeah, you're right. All that damage on JT at the start had a huge impact. He had to play it very passively, and Grim not get anything done. Sold that round down the river for Complexity. He goes down without a kill, and JT has just too much to try and recover with only 30 health. Tell you what, though, if you're looking for the FaZe of old, that's what you want. They always had a low buy round in them at the best possible moment. That's a very timely one for FaZe to get back on the board and ensure that Complexity can't go on some crazy run to close the half. 2 rounds remaining.
Exchange of utility between Kerrigan and JT.
You can tell this is a pretty critical battle coming up. JT doesn't really know it yet, so he's got to be careful about his mag. They might just go on the reload.
Yeah, well, they start to move forward on it.
It's a pinch to the B-bomb site.
Here they come straight in towards Connector. It gets the dink at least, even though it wasn't the most ideal situation. But Rain taking Kerrigan down, but also finding Grim in that safe movement. Oh, Halzer gets away with it. The no-scope. He recovers the rifle in time, and then Frozen sinks 2 on the AK. Yeah, that's not bad from Frozen. And Nyx stepping up to the plate this time, looking for that 6th round. He's got the first headshot, but with that smoke popping up, there's no way.
Yeah, it's time to save here. The only chance you had is if you stepped in front of the smoke, but now that you've stepped back, you've taken yourself out of the fight, and it's not worth it because you got no money for the next round. That low-buy loss to FaZe in the previous is really painful. And FaZe might just clean up the last 3 of this half as a rebuttal. Six to 5. And Complexity gonna have a hard time scraping together an intimidating buy here. Nyx can drop a FAMAS over to a teammate for an extra rifle. But you won't have the op on Halzerk, you won't have that AK-47 on JT that he was using to good effect. Just as I was talking about JT doing a good job in Canals, FaZe found a way to come right back at him, and last 2 rounds he's been destroyed. So 2 M4s, a Deagle, 2 MP9s for Complexity in this final round of the half, and expect a little bit of trickery. Expect them to get creative with some aggression at some point during this round to try and make up for the lack of firepower.
Ooh, Rain, he's got the read. He knows they're coming. He sees them. And first goes down. He realizes Grim couldn't have got there that quickly. If he was the stars player, there must be a second. And so he's just staying focused on that extra flank. In the meantime, Nyx getting one. He actually won the fight against Rain. Halzerk's gone back. Alicia's caught, and we've got a 2v3 all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, but they've got no utility. Or they do have a little bit. Smoke, Molotov, 1 kit on Nyx as well, but you need this kill, and it's not there. So now Nyx, there's no saving in this round. You're going to go for it. 1v3. You've got no chance.
He goes past. Missed shot from Brokey. Great headshot on Frozen. But FaZe will take a moment to breathe and hide because they
can't
brought
lose
that
this
clock.
if you're FaZe.
Yeah, they won't. They won't give him a chance. Karrigan's hiding in camera. There is 0 reason for him to peek right now, and Brokey is going to make sure it's 7 for FaZe on the T side. Not bad. Not bad at all. Considering the start, though, for FaZe, I think they'll be a little bit disappointed the patch of bad form they went on towards the later stages of that first half.
I think after this first map, they're just going to be happy about the lead, the 7-5 on your T side, especially considering you had to win a low buy to do it. I think it's Complexity who's going to be mostly disappointed. That half was starting to really turn in their favor and look strong until they lost against those Tech 9s. And then you lose the 2 ensuing, and you feel like you just let it slip away. So Karrigan gonna line his guys up for a CT side Anubis, trying to extend this series to 3 maps if they can do it. Third and deciding map would be Inferno if it takes us there. But for now, one last half of Anubis and Complexity going to attack. Pistol round coming live. We'll get dualies on Brokey. Smoke flash for the CT side. For Complexity, it's all 5 Glock armor.
Glock armor and the charge. It's going to be quick into the B bomb site, coming in from multiple sides. Frozen and Karrigan looking to combine together. A bait and switch setup. Frozen taking the first contact, and they're still going to check for Karrigan. He still lands his headshot.
Need to get that bomb planted. Flank, oh no you don't. Flank is coming in. Now they just want to fight it. Okay, Grim, you got to wrap around this smoke. Karrigan's found the escape route is available. To the A bomb site we go. Brokey and Elysian, a foot race with Nyx and Grim.
And Grim's got the head start. He's sprinting. He's going to have plenty of time in the bomb site before they arrive. Elysian's just getting his feet wet, charging through the water, trying to get here, but decides to shift. This is going to give perfect time here for Grim to get the bomb down and start getting eyes on this A main play.
They're so split though. Brokey struck around at B in case they were doing a fake, in case they came right back. So now Elysian has to wait patiently for him to arrive, both flanking from A main.
He realizes time is of the essence though, so he starts creating space, seeing if he can get a fight to go his way. He's got info on the last 2 players, but now Brokey making noise. They know exactly where he is, but he just has to force fights and hope for a miracle, and it isn't going to happen. Grim closes with the headshot. Complexity kick off the second half with a pistol round win.
Yeah, nice awareness for Complexity. Once they thought that they cleared out, you know, over towards Glyph, going for the plant, realizing Kerrigan's still there, but also keeping their attention on the flank, because it was a very fast push through canals for the A defenders of FaZe. And Complexity spotted out in time. It's JT who gets the information and pulls Grim back with the bomb to go for the fight. Even though they don't have great success, they find a second option after taking down Kerrigan. Beautiful work for Complexity, 1-0. Matching FaZe's T-side pistol round, and against unarmored USPs, they should have a second round conversion as well.
Good work from Grim. JT's gonna make the most of it alongside of him. So FaZe, that lead is gone immediately as they kick off the second half. All tied up, and Complexity have a great opportunity here. If they win this first gun round, they could get the ball rolling. And a 2-0 win over FaZe Clan into the playoffs here in Bucharest. It would have a extra sweet taste, you know, getting into the playoffs over Elige.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it'd be... Graham's going to take them all out for steaks. Maybe a margarita night. Some kind of a celebration. Jason Lake will send the card details. The companies, they put it on the company. They've done well.
Must be great having Donk, though. All he wants to celebrate with is a Happy Meal. So, you know, it's
true.
Pretty cheap.
It's a good point.
Here comes Holzerk out of connector. Okay, that is quick.
And quiet.
Yeah, quick and quiet.
There's no indication. There wasn't even like an initial instant smoke in dark to like give the indication that Complexity was going to scale fast. It's just like, okay, free round, we win. Save for FaZe. Not enough.
Yeah, because they don't have anything to fall back on, and if you threw everything at this, you throw all your money away. Yeah, you're giving Complexity the ideal start.
It's not the time in the half to risk your entire economy, unfortunately, for FaZe. So, I mean, look, if you're Complexity, you're like, great, that's a nice call to get you an easy win off just one kill. You don't get the benefit of destroying and taking all the weapons away and having a huge economic advantage, but a free round is a free round. And it's given Complexity the lead, 8-7. First lead of this map, I believe. No, wouldn't be. I take it back.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, they had a 5-4 lead. That was it. So the second lead of the map.
They were in front for a little bit.
For a little bit. Just one round.
I can't see Frozen's mouse.
It's there. It's under the...
No, it's invisible.
It's under the Complexity overlay. Is it?
No, it was a camouflage mouse, Jason. It was a bad joke.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. You know, someone out there got it. And I'm glad if I slightly made you smile.
That's where the bar is set.
Yeah.
I don't know how JT's won that. Kerrigan, it looked like he had about a 6-bullet
Dude,
lead
I love
on
how
him.
they're getting that fight both halves. You know, we're just seeing JT own him. And Elige, big swing out. Frozen's making sure that FaZe stay in this one. And 3v3 thanks to Grim. And he's going to apply pressure around that obelisk. Frozen, barrel spotted. And is still able to come out on top of the fight. But the bomb is going into A.
Yeah, it was a fake, so Grim's trying to force a fight as fast as possible to try and keep FaZe sold on the B bomb site. Nyx and Holzerk to clutch, and Nyx is going to test this. He's sitting in it? I thought he would go all the way through.
Here he comes. After there's no... No, dude. You'd go on the reload, but he doesn't feel like that's the move he wants right now. So he stays inside. Nade damage onto Frozen, keeping him back regardless. Nyx is just going to play on the fade of the smoke, and that works too, I guess. He's going into his heaven now. FaZe are on panic mode because they realize that Nyx is here at camera and he's buying time, he's delaying, he's distracting. Brokey has to go and clear him. Holzerk here's the tap, goes into the open, takes Rain down, and time is gone. Not enough of it left. Complexity head to 9 rounds and FaZe can't catch a break.
To that, was that Molly on the bomb from Nyx? Because he basically threw away his life to get out of that, to just throw the Molly on the bomb. I'm assuming it reached it. But man, a really good post plant, 2 versus 3 in the smoke. That is the winning play that Frozen doesn't expect, and it feels like Nyx had him beat about 5 times over. If he pushed that smoke during a reload, if he pushed it with the grenade, doesn't take the risk, and it still works out. 9-7. And because of the save in the previous round, FaZe can still buy up. So good economic decisions keep them in this map fighting back. This might be the last chance they have. Kerrigan and Rain bought down to $0 in the bank. And they still can't stop Complexity's T-side.
What a world we're living in, where Complexity are looking this good, this quick. Just a few short months ago, they couldn't win a map. And look at them now.
Look at him now.
It's the start of a whole new streak, Jason. They're gonna get another big win streak here. This is gonna be the catalyst so that they win the major in Austin, as you said.
Yeah, it'll all culminate there in the grand finals.
FaZe versus Complexity.
Defense for FaZe is shifting. They've left mid wide open for quite some time, so Frozen's really nervous. But it leaves Kerrigan alone at the B-bomb site to handle everything. Main is still smoked off, but not for long. Sixy and Halzerk the challenge middle. Oh, beautiful shot. Can't find the follow-up. Didn't expect a second. Which is fair play. Why would you?
Here comes Leash to peek into Halzerk. And Complexity stay ahead on the player count with 45 seconds left in the round. The bomb is positioning outside of B currently. We've got Kerrigan as the sole B defender.
And you kind of know information. Halzerk calls out one Temple. You know, one is likely the A defender. You still see him alive. That smoke and Temple puts so much pressure on Rain and on the A bomb site that they're so concerned.
Look how uncomfortable Kerrigan is right now. He's got to fight Connector. He's got to fight inside of the site. And he does so much. He even gets the dink on Grim. A one-man army giving FaZe a shot, but Rain goes looking mid. And Halzerk had already got deeper than he anticipated, so at least Frozen 1v2. Silent drop, gets close to the site. 14 seconds left to get that bomb planted. They're applying pressure, realizing this is the position Frozen must have gone to, and it's the double for Frozen. Kerrigan's heavy lifting finished off by Frozen, and FaZe have an extra round.
Yeah, Grim and Halzerk needed to coordinate that better. That double peek is really delayed. Spacing is way off. Grim peeking with the flash, and then Halzerk having to spend a second or two after the fact to get into the right position. And Frozen's allowed 2 1v1s in the clutch. Much like that low-buy win, that's a gift given over to FaZe to keep them alive into this. Nice win from Frozen to keep them alive. 17 kills for him now. We've talked about a couple back-to-back rough Dust2s, but looking really good here so far on map 2 in the series.
That's so impressive from Kerrigan as well.
Yeah, it really is.
He manages that position so well. They're just going to try and split B early here, Complexity. Keep it a simple, fantastic flashbang from Halzerk. Frozen's going to go down easily to the hand of Grim. But once again, it's Kerrigan trying to do some impact towards the back of the site, but it's only 1 kill this time. Not enough to delay, and really, FaZe Clan not in the best position. Locked out, you've still got to try and get through Nyx inside of Con, and that's Elijah's job, and as soon as he goes for the peak, 60 this time's in front of his face, and for FaZe, there's no money left, so it's such a tough situation again.
60 ain't scared of any fight in this game.
Nothing.
He's coming for everything. He's coming for you each and every time. Nasty little flank from Halzerk is going to prevent some weapons from being saved, you'd imagine. Heading into the A bomb site, he doesn't realize they're still both over in Temple, so might miss the fact to not be able to take any weapons away. Rain and Brokey going to bring these forward, but outside of this, FaZe running so low on funds.
Terrorists win.
And much like Dust2, Complexity prevent them from winning 2 rounds in a row. It's got to be a scary prospect for FaZe 2. That's twice now that Complexity has been able to just march up and walk into the B bomb site and execute on you. One time it was that quiet, no utility contact play. This time there's plenty of utility, and you're stuck at the B site with only 2 defenders. It's so hard to figure out how to play the CT side if one bomb site has just been exploited in this fashion. Great timing for Complexity as they step into A main.
Yeah.
FaZe has just kind of backed off of defense there, playing it passive towards A main. Almost
now
cheating,
they realize.
yeah, almost cheating some rotations in case B is under pressure. JT spots Elige up top, but they don't need to commit. He backs off. He tells Nyx, you don't
Look
need
what
to
it's
go.
done. Look how many players have drifted over towards A from this defense. If they decide to go back, and Nyx has committed, he's died, but there's no one following up. Six is going through mid, spots the head of Frozen, but a little bit too late. And Complexity going for the B finish as they rapidly race to try and get back and help Carrigan. Once again, it must be Carrigan to deliver a big hold from the same position. And there's the first kill. He gets the AK. Frozen's arrived just in time to protect him. And so this round, it looked like it was going to be a perfect timing for Complexity to walk through, and they end up not getting a single kill.
Yeah, that's fantastic for FaZe. Set themselves up nicely, and money's busted now on the Complexity side of things. The Complexity missed the timing in that 3v5. If you were going to get into that B bomb site, it's pretty much right when 6E went down. Grim had to be a little bit more aggressive in B main to provide the distraction necessary to keep Carrigan occupied. Even the Molotov tick, Pauzak doesn't hear it in time to react as he comes through the smoke. And a good cleanup from FaZe. At one point, the hardest team to put away. Let's see if they've still got shades of it left. Complexity's trying to send a message to Elige that they don't need him, that they can qualify to the playoffs without him. And they're just 4 rounds away, or 3 rounds away from accomplishing that goal.
Move as a pack silently through middle. No one picking up early information on this. The closest player to the area is Brokey, and he's all the way back at camera. He's about to find out that 6E's coming for him. Flash in, Brokey taking damage on board. 6E completely blinded, but he creates the space, and the pressure's on. Rain didn't get spotted though. Rain did not get spotted, and so his position's still strong. He denies that plant, gets back, couldn't get a second player. So traded eventually by the MAC-10. Frozen leaping through the water, trying to get back in time, and Elige is at storage. Carrigan waits as he comes through mid. But this fight is so important for Frozen, and against a MAC-10, at that kind of range, Nyx would not be favored, but he's still going for it.
I can't believe it.
He went for the repeak.
That's ill-advised. Playing with maybe too much confidence. What a shot from Grim, and now he's secured a very strong position.
Yeah, this is huge. Now Grim can double up with JT, and Carrigan's got to get past it. JT still at heaven, still fragging, and Frozen with a 1v2. It's going to be tough to even think about this with the time ticking, how many players you've got to clear out of heaven, and JT just wins the straight-up fight. Complexity grab 11 rounds and another step in the direction of qualification into the playoffs.
You could see some of the things Complexity's doing to make these fights really uncomfortable for FaZe, messing with the timings of activation off of utility, smoke coming in towards camera, and Frozen's thinking in his head, or excuse me, Brokey's thinking in his head, okay, setting up this, if I'll drop the Molotov after that, I'll throw a flash in there as well. They're setting it up to protect for an A main hit, but they're peeking just as he pulls out utility. To take that fight at the last second when Frozen least expects it, and then the ability to come through the smoke when you've made him uncomfortable and made him susceptible to follow-up flashbangs.
Well, Brokey in middle is gonna come off the angle.
On top of everything, we've heard Carrigan say basics are in the bin for FaZe. Well, for Complexity, they're on point. Oh, missed shot. Brokey didn't want to swing out wide enough. No way.
He gets away with that shot. That's a classic Brokey play. 6E blasted away. Here's JT. About to come through into connector. Carrigan's loving the front of this pillar.
He's baited by the footsteps as well. Heard the jumping in the bomb site. Awkward fight for Grim. A little bit flustered for Complexity. And they needed to do damage in this round. They absolutely needed to get kills at the very least. They've got no funds. And once again, FaZe with a clean victory is going to secure some all-important economy for them down the stretch in this match. It's going to be 10-11 as Nyx and Halzerk just look to save these weapons. And I can't imagine FaZe is feeling all that motivated to hunt. .22 kills now on Frozen, the top in the server.
Yes, FaZe still very much in this, thanks to that round. The save call, important here for Complexity. Grim sitting at $0 currently. I'll change in just a moment.
And they have no losing bonus built up, so they might force buy in the next round.
Yeah, you'd imagine they have to, right? This has to be a buy around the 2 save weapons.
I mean, let's be real. You never have to. You never have to.
You feel like you have to, Jason.
Well, because I mean, yeah, we can all understand the logic of buying regardless because the losing bonus isn't anything special for the next few rounds. And there's a glue that can be dropped over to Grim to help him out, so they will force buy in this round. But would you really want to? Yeah, it's just you force up here. They tie things up at 11-11, and then you have to save, basically giving them 12.
Or they win 12 here.
Or they win 12 here. That's a good point. That is the other side of the coin.
And you throw that coin up into the air and you watch as it twists and turns and lands face up here inside of the B bomb site. It's Frozen. Oh no, 60 ran out of bullets, and so Elish gets away with it, but he's under pressure from multiple sides, and HalZerk just bursts in.
They haven't killed Kerrigan. They need to be aware he's still alive and over in dark.
Oh, they know that he's been the nuisance over in this area of the map, so that's going to be running through their minds. So they see Kerrigan still alive on the server. They're going to go and check him. HalZerk running in. Kerrigan falls. And Complexity, they roll the dice and they land on the B bomb site. Brokey and Rain now in a situation where they're close enough to the bomb site, but they just feel like it's hard to get in.
They're going for it.
Brokey's going to change his position and try and join up with Rain coming in from CT side, but as soon as Rain goes forward, that flash lands right in his face.
It's over now. You got to back off. Rain doesn't have the HP. That's the round 1 for Complexity.
Oh, that's huge.
You nailed it. They got 12. The force buy works. What a tense situation they were going to be in. If they lost that, it would have been no money at 11-11. A wonderful round. Breaking once again into the B bomb site, running through the Molotov to do it. And fantastic utility usage. The layered flashbangs as that execute builds, as Complexity scales into jail. It's been brutal for FaZe all half long. The players behind the bomb site and all these executes have been flashed and blind and unable to fight back every time Complexity have done this.
Oh, that's such an important fight as well for HalZerk. He's so close to losing against Elish, but...
Well, the flash is for jail, right? And Kerrigan's expecting to fight at jail.
FaZe have got to fight for overtime, otherwise Complexity have qualified into the playoffs here in Bucharest.
And they're already challenging into the B bomb site. They're already bullying FaZe.
And 60's already making space in mid. HalZerk's got the bomb. He's got the bomb in the edge of that smoke. 60 comes through. Elish nearly getting caught by it. He'll backtrack and play safer back from camera.
And he's pulled Brokey over from the op, who's going to be playing in Temple. Don't want the peek in case Complexity's had already been scaling. So Grim is left at a lurk at this B bomb site. Smoke is just deployed by FaZe right now at this moment. That'll fade at like the 47-second mark. They've realigned outside of A main, but they still have the option to fall back in towards dark and canals if they want it. And FaZe have a very good read of this situation.
Elish 1-for-1, gets a follow-up and second kill, backs away, 3 HP, 60 still waiting in the middle, but will he get the perfect timing? He's gonna go fight Frozen, he's gonna fight Frozen, he's gonna win that fight now, and that bomb making its way back, final 30 seconds, trying to get into B, and once again, it's Kerrigan alone inside of the B site.
And he's been excellent in these situations. He's trying to do it again, but he can't this time. Too many angles, good flank from 60.
It's got to feel like he's just being pulled limb from limb.
Playoffs on the line for Complexity.
FaZe are trying to come back into this. 2 versus 3. Elige, one of the members alive, but he's only got 3 health left. Complexity dig deep. This is their best chance for qualification into the playoffs over their former player, over their former star, and he's still fighting forward, ripping apart 60. Grim waits inside of Dart, sees the barrel, Holzerk denies, and it is only Elige. Only Elige that can deny it now.
Damn.
And he switches out to the A4, he gets on that defuse. Holzerk, will he buy it? Will he peek it? He absolutely will. Complexity defeat FaZe Clan. They defeat Elige to qualify into the playoffs here in Bucharest. And this FaZe Clan squad are realizing that this new roster brings new complexities.
My, if you've ever wondered how the cookie crumbles,